Hello and welcome back to Finance Underground, bringing to light the hidden finance secrets of the world. Finance talk an 11-year-old can understand. So what is the best investment you can make in your 20s? We've been taught to start investing early and to let your money ride. The longer you have it in there, the more advantage you get to take of the time value of money, and you're going to have a lot more money and investments are going to be a lot larger if you start early. So in your 20s, that is the perfect time to start investing. So what's the best investment to make when you're in your 20s? Well, I've got Zach here. Oh, wait, he's not here. He bailed on me. Zach was going to talk to us about the investments that he's making, maybe Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, some of those stocks, maybe index funds. If you start in your 20s, you plan on retiring in your 50s or 60s, that gives you 30 or 40 years that you can invest. Index funds are a great way to go. The total stock market index fund's a great one because it's going to ride up with the stocks, and the stocks always go up over time. Maybe you should have an emergency fund, or maybe it's time to start investing in your 401k or an IRA. Maybe if you have debt, you should pay that off. What about investing in real estate? What is the number one best investment that you can make when you're in your 20s? That's a great question. Can you predict the future? So I believe that the number one best investment you can make while you're in your 20s and even before, the number one, and I'll go through and give you some statistics and we'll look at some examples, but the number one best investment that you can make is in yourself. And we're talking straight financially. We're not talking about investing education for the purpose of expanding your mind and making you see the world differently and understanding how things work. Those are all important things, but education in yourself for financial reasons. We're talking strictly financial here. Financially, education is the number one best investment that you can make. Invest in yourself. And when we say education, it doesn't necessarily have to be higher education, but that's a pretty darn good place to start. So we're investing in ourselves. But not only education, we need to develop a work ethic. We need to learn to lead other people, to communicate and collaborate. We also need to develop good habits of health, good eating, proper sleep, exercise. So investing in yourself, making sure that you are educating yourself so you become valuable in the market and that you have health and a work ethic that you can move forward and you become valuable in the market so you can earn more money. Let's discuss education a little bit. So most of the education that you're going to do in your life will be outside of school. School is the great foundation to build knowledge and to help develop skills that'll help you become valuable in the market. But a lot more than just in the school, you're going to need to educate yourself outside of school. That's where the good work ethic, learning to lead others and to work with others. Formal education, especially professional degrees, doctor, lawyer, engineering, those kind of degrees, those are very valuable in the market. And so that's a formal education that you can go through. Nothing's guaranteed, but those are pretty guaranteed sources of income. If you can produce well as a doctor or as a lawyer or as an engineer, you should be able to make six figures in those careers and other professional careers as well. With education, you're pumping in a ton of energy and money and time. You're putting everything in up front with very little returns immediately. Your returns come long tail. So we're going to front load everything. We're going to dump everything that we have in up front, and then it's going to pay dividends for a long time to come, years and years to come. Okay, so some statistics on earning power and education, the correlation between the two. I found half a dozen different sources of information, some pulled from the Census Bureau and some from different websites. And they were all, the numbers were a little bit different on each one of them, but they were all very close. So if you do not graduate from high school, the average income is $20,000 a year. If you graduate from high school and that's the only degree you get, it bumps from $20,000 to $31,000, which is a decent bump for a high school degree. So if you go to some college, but you don't get an associate's degree, that bumps up another $1,000 to $32,000 a year. An associate's degree bumps you to $40,000 on average. And a bachelor's degree jumps you up to $57,000. A master's degree, $74,000. A professional degree, like we talked about earlier, the average is $128,000. So that's a pretty good income to put a lot of time into up front. You know, they work hard to get those degrees, but that comes with a direct correlation of higher income. One interesting statistic is with a doctorate degree, it actually drops from $128,000 to $103,000. And that's, my theory is maybe we get too much education and not enough action in life. That's an interesting statistic. So some people don't consider investing in themselves or education. They may not consider that as an investment, but if you look at those income differences over a 40 or a 50-year working life, that's a pretty substantial financial difference, right? The money that you earn over 50 years because you put in 5 or 10 years of education up front pays off greatly. So well worth it. So let's take a look at a little spreadsheet I put together real quickly. This shows the different degrees, or no degree. This shows you the income based off of the statistics I talked to you about earlier. So a couple of assumptions we're making here. When you get college, it costs you a year of income, and this income, or this year of education, you get no income. So we're going to assume that you're making no money, but we're also going to assume that you're able to cash flow college and that you're not getting into debt. And another assumption we're making here is that you never get a raise for your entire life. You just live off, or you just earn the average of those particular degrees. And I will show you the 30 years old. There is a little discrepancy because it costs you a little bit of time. High school degree makes more money than some college because of the year that you lost. An associate's degree, I actually bumped 3 years down just to be safe on times. And so you're making a little bit more than some college, but still less than a high school degree. If you get your associates, that gives you about 3 years to get an associate's, which should only take you 2 years to do. Bachelor's degree gives you 5 years. And at that point, when you're 30, you're ahead with a bachelor's degree. A master's degree has cost you a couple more years of earning power, and so you're behind the bachelor's a little bit. A professional degree is doing well, and a doctorate degree is actually behind the master's degree because of the lost earning years. These are years that we're assuming no income. Okay, but let's jump down here to 50 years old. At 50, things are starting to pay off nicely. No degree, you've earned $660,000. High school, you're at $1 million. Some college, $1 million. Associate's degree 1.2, bachelor's 1.6 nearly. A master's is 1.9 million, a professional degree is 3 million, and a doctorate is a 2.6 million. So your education pays off nicely in the long run. And I know some people aren't college lovers and they say not college isn't for everybody, and whatever, you don't have to go to college to make money. And I agree with that. But no matter what profession you decide to go into, you have to get higher education, whether that's going to be formal education at a college, like this chart shows, or whether you're going to run your own business. You need to become educated so you can add value to your market. I have several neighbors around me who do very, very well running their own businesses, but they have learned their business. They know how to add value in that business. And so they do very well without necessarily having a college degree. But college degrees have value, but it is important to remember whether you have a college degree or whether you do not have a college degree, that you add value. That's what you're paid for. We are paid for adding value in the marketplace. It's important to remember that the income that you make over your lifetime is one of your single greatest assets. That's going to be one of the greatest things that determines your financial life, which seems to make sense, right? You make the money, you're able to live a better life with that financially. It's important that you position yourself in the market so you can make a great income long term. And then, of course, other things come into play. You need to make sure that you're using that money wisely, that you're budgeting, and that you're balancing and planning your money so it gets used effectively. And there are other videos we'll have here to show you how to invest your money and where to put that money. I think index funds and the total stock market fund, the VT Sachs is a great place to be for the long run. It's simple yet effective. So just make sure that you're taking time. If you're getting discouraged with your school and the amount of time and energy that it's taking, and it gets frustrating and it takes forever and it's expensive and you never have a life, and I understand that, but it's worth it. Make sure that you're getting a good education that is valuable in the marketplace. Then it's worth it, I should say. If you're going for some degree that has no financial ties to it, it may or may not pay off for you. But if you're doing something like a professional degree or something that teaches you to have skills that are valuable in the market, education is well worth it. And make sure that you're getting a good formal education, and make sure that you're going outside of the formal education, especially once you finish your formal education, you earn that degree. Make sure you're going outside, you're reading books, that you're a member of associations in your chosen profession, that you're networking with other people in the field, that you're working hard, and that you're becoming valuable to other people in that profession, and you'll do great. So keep your chin up if you're down in the grind of the education. Get it done. It'll pay off for years and years. So this is my encouragement to you. Someday you're going to wake up and get a birthday card like this. And hopefully that you look back and say, it's been a fantastic 30 years. Good luck. Keep plugging away. And remember, your money is making someone rich. It's going to make somebody rich. Let's make sure that it's you.